Hey, everybody, and welcome. So, I have some good news and some bad news for a lot of people that are Samsung Dex owners. The bad news: you are limited to 5 apps on screen. You can have more apps, but 5 apps are limited to being on the display of your current thing. That goes for um, HDMI cables, standard HDMI cable hubs, next dock systems, computers, wireless connection, all that jazz. The only way to get unlimited amount of numbers of applications on your display are only two devices: Samsung Station and Samsung Pad. Period. Because these have a special chip built into them that allows them to unlock that feature because of this. Now, what am I pointing to? I'm pointing to the active cooling performance fan that the station and pad have. Yes, that's the big reason why you are limited to only 5 applications on standard plug-in hubs. And that's why this is the gold standard to go with. Because that active cooling fan is the reason why they do not allow more than 5 applications on display, because it does not have active cooling for your phone. So they have limited it to 5 applications to reduce heat issues and have performance running at a stable ability. So if you have a standard system that plugs into HDMI, or you have one of those cheapo HDMI hubs that you bought and you're like, oh yeah, I got better than this stinking expensive bullcrap that Samsung's trying to pull off and think they're all cool, well, you're pretty much screwed, because this is the only way to actually go with when you're using Samsung Dex. Because of that active cooling system is the big reason Samsung's not letting anybody use more than 5 applications on your display at once. So the only way to override that limitation is to use the puck or the pad system. Now, I don't know if they're still selling it. Maybe they're out of stock on their website or something. But the only way you can find this right now is probably Amazon for their pad system, and eBay for these pucks, from what I've seen. Or you can probably find some Amazon third-party ones from international ability, or without a charger cord for some reason. But yeah, I know everybody's probably disappointed, but that's that. And if you're thinking that I'm wrong, I actually contacted the people that work on Samsung Dex system ability from Samsung's website. I actually contacted them and asked this entire thing, even testing this after I also have. Where's that stupid cable? If I can find it again. I have a bunch of cables on my floor that I can't find my original cable now. Oh, here it is. This is the first cable I bought, because it was only like $32 on Amazon's website. This is actually their standard, just basic USB-C to HDMI. This is the official Samsung Dex cable system. This is not from Anchor or any other third party. You can see it has the Samsung logo there. Boop, 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 boop. Right there. Boink. And it looks backwards because I'm using the face camera instead of my big cameras. And I found that, yeah, only 5 locations. And I actually had a cooling system. Well, not a cooling system, but a charger to keep my phone charged at the same time as I was using the plug-in system, because I can't charge my phone as I have it plugged into HDMI. So I was like, oh, and you're still limited no matter what, unless you get one of these. But yeah, Samsung confirmed with me that anything else that's just a standard, that's not with an active cooling fan performance, is going to be limited to 5 amps, period. So if you're not using their puck or the pad, yeah, you're stuck. Sorry. And they're not going to release any kind of feature that's going to unlock this anytime soon. Sadly, they told me this also. So you're pretty much stuck with having to sell your crappy hub system if you want more than 5 applications to get one of these. Yeah. But for people that actually own these, well, we have a plus here. Because we have more than unlimited applications to run. We got dual ports to go with. We got keeping charge of our phone no matter what kind of hard pushes we do. All that good stuff. But it is possible also, before I was getting off topic, it is possible to use this and keep your phone charged wirelessly. The problem is, when you do use one of these chargers, this is a 15-watt charger, by the way. This is the max compatibility that you can use on your Samsung devices. If you have something over a S10 or Note 10 Plus that charges at 15 watts, this is going to be able to charge it at. Other things will only charge at like 9 watts, so this is only compatible with charging with 15. But you do run into limitations of power requirements for running on this and HDMI cable, because there's more processing power to be required on running just the HDMI plug versus using the puck, which actually has a reduction in processing power need, and it also keeps the HDMI plug charged itself, so it doesn't need to power the phone from the HDMI cable like this. That means there's less power waste. But with this, if you have more than about, I think 3 applications up, plus you're watching YouTube, this is not going to keep the battery topped off. Now I know also you're saying, well, that's also going to be a problem with battery issues. I mean, if you keep your phone on the charger all the time, that's just stupid. That's actually false. It's actually very reversed. And I know a lot of people are going to be like down on me saying that, no, that's not true. Yes, it is actually true. All devices in modern times have a technology called Passthrough or bypass technology, charging technology, which even your laptops have. What this does is basically mean that when your device is on the charger, once the battery is charged, your device does not take a single ounce of battery technology to power your phone. Once it's charged and still on the platform, all power usage is now reverted to whatever is plugged in. So, if I'm playing a game and I'm using it on the phone, that has a reduction in battery performance, because if I drain the phone from dead to play all the time, it drains the phone. But if I left the phone on the charger and it's topped up, the phone doesn't use the battery anymore. It actually reverts power from the station straight to the CPU, because the power performance is actually plugged into the motherboard, not plugged into straight to the battery. So this means that once the battery is charged and the motherboard senses that the battery is full, it sends all power straight to the motherboard itself, and it removes any power from going to the battery. So that means that the battery is always topped off, and you have maximum performance. Not to mention, this also reduces heat ability on your phone by over, I think, what, 5 to 10%? No, not 5 to 10. 5 to 10 times. Which means that having your phone docked and fully charged actually reduces heat by a lot, because there's no heat drain from the battery. Because when batteries actually drain and recharge, they actually produce more heat. So, if you think I'm wrong, try that and you'll figure it out. And I'm not. Because when you are playing your phone at max power and you're still plugged in, you'll notice that there's no heat on the battery area. There's only heat produced from the processor. That's because the battery doesn't have anything to do with the performance of the phone while it's plugged in. So there's no more heat made from the phone. But when you unplug it and you start battling hard, there's more heat produced because of the discharge current that's required to keep the phone charged and giving that hard push to keep the phone at maximum performance. And then when you plug it in to charge again at 50% and you're still gaming hard, that's going to make more heat. So, having it at 100% and keeping your phone charged reduces battery wear and tear and gives you less heat ability on your phone as you're gaming. So if you're one of those super hardcore gamers that want to do some super crazy stuff, it's actually better to hardcore game while it's plugged in at 100% than it is to unplug and play. Exactly the same thing goes for laptops. That's why laptops have less wear and tear on the battery, because when it's always plugged in, it doesn't use any percentage of battery. Boom, boom, boom. And then when the power is disconnected, switches to battery mode, although laptops use a lot more higher power performance, so the GPU has to downclock. That's the bad thing about laptops in this current time. Back in 2012 or 11, I think, laptops didn't have this issue, where because they weren't so powerful for GPU requirements, they didn't need down throttle. But for modern laptops, they're super powerful, so the GPU takes a lot more power than it actually can produce when it's in battery mode. So the GPU's clock speed and the performance actually has to reduce when it's in battery mode by about 40%. Yeah, that's a lot of power waste, even if you're on your external dedicated GPU system that's built into the laptop. It actually has to drop down performance down to like 40 to 60% when it's in battery mode. That's a lot of performance waste, I know. But that's the advantage of having battery power, though, is that if your system goes like this, and you're caught in a blackout, you're not rushing to go with your UPS on your desktops and go, oh, I only got 10 minutes to turn off my computer. I gotta go, guys. There was a blackout. The same thing with these cool phones is that you don't have to go when the power goes out. You don't have to go, oh. Your phone automatically switches to your mobile data, and you can be like, well, power outage. Well, you know what? Who cares? And they take less power requirement to actually charge, which means that you can charge these phones at 5 volts, 9 volts, or 12 volt systems. That's pretty cool. Compared to big, giant rig desktops that a lot of people say are cool. It's cool to have a lot of desktop power performance. But when you have to rush over, disable your stuff and whatnot, because even if you have a UPS that can go for a couple minutes, it's like you still have to rush and like, yeah, I gotta shut off my computer and blah 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 blah. I have no internet texting on your phone, I have no internet on my computer, so I gotta go. I mean, you're gonna probably say, oh, well, you can mobile hotspot, but, there's limitations for that, so. Unless you have the ability of having your Wi-Fi on, but then if you have your Wi-Fi on, it makes no sense to actually rush for your phone. To be able to text your friends and say, oh, I mean, maybe you have a UPS on your router too, but, I mean, yeah. But anyways, sorry guys, I know this is a big disappointment for a lot of people, but, hey, it makes sense. I mean, it does make sense. I know people are going to be, kind of mad and annoyed about this, but Samsung actually does have some sense to what they're doing, and I agree. So I mean, if they do enable it so you can have it not just on their puck and their pad systems, but a station that actually does have a built-in fan, then that makes sense. But at the moment, I think that they're only using for the puck and pad because they don't really think any other company actually has any kind of fan performance hubs. So if you have a standard cable, again, you're stuck with 5 apps. But if you have a puck or a pad that has an active fan cooling system ability to it, you have unlimited. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Peace out. And stay cool.